Welcome back. Next on the news at 10 is Sports News with Ayo Balogun.
Many thanks. Well, these are the sports stories right about now. Captain Christopher Katongo scored the lone strike to inspire Zambia to a 1-0 win over Uganda in their second Group D encounter in Rubavu. Now, the veteran forward rose above the Ugandan defense to find the back of the net after meeting a well-taken free kick on the left flank to give his team the victory. In the other group game, Mali ended Zimbabwe's hopes of further participation by inflicting on them their second defeat. The game ended 1-0 in favour of the Malians. Now in the English Premier League, Adam Lallana scored a stoppage time winner as Liverpool fought back to beat Norwich City 5-4 away in the day's lunchtime kickoff. Elsewhere, Super Eagles striker Odion Ighalo scored his 14th goal of the season to help Watford beat Newcastle United 2-1. Dele Alli, the England international, inspired Tottenham Hotspur to beat Crystal Palace 3-1 at Selhurst Park. Leicester City beat Stoke 3-0 to maintain their push for the title, which makes them to sit at top of the league standings, at least for now. Where Charlie Austin scored on his debut to help Southampton beat Man United 1-0 at Old Trafford. Sunderland and Bournemouth battles to a 1-1 draw, while West Brom and Aston Villa drew goalless in their derby game. In the last match of the day, Man City forced West Ham to a 2-2 draw at Upton Park. Now, Louis van Gaal's future has been cast into fresh doubt after admitting his relationship with Manchester United supporters has hit rock bottom. Van Gaal was at a loss to explain another toothless attack in display and was loudly booed off as he trudged down the Old Trafford tunnel at full time. It's United's 5th loss in 10 games, and they trailed the top 4 by 5 points as the players were loudly booed off the pitch. The Red Devils are now 5 points behind 4th place Tottenham, who won their game 3-1 at Crystal Palace. Now, UEFA Secretary-General Gianni Infantino says he's very confident of winning the race to become the next FIFA president. UEFA's executive committee had earlier confirmed its unanimous support for the Swiss Italian, saying he enjoys the overwhelming backing of most of its 54 members. The other candidates jostling to succeed Mr. Sepp Blatter are former FIFA Vice President Prince Ali, Asian Football Confederation President Sheikh Salman, former FIFA official Jerome Champagne, and South African businessman Tokyo Sixwale.
I'm very confident about UEFA. I'm very confident about the strength of UEFA. Of course, the period is very difficult. We don't have to deny it. It's a difficult period. It's a difficult moment. But when the foundations are solid, and they are solid in UEFA, then even if there is a storm from time to time, we keep strong. We have a strong executive committee. We have a strong administration. Everything works as always, as normal, as usual. There are discussions on many topics. There are many activities which are done. But UEFA is strong enough and solid enough to look at the future in a very, very bright way. And if I will be FIFA president, I will certainly also help UEFA to continue in this solid track.
Now, Dillian White has challenged David Hay to a domestic clash after claiming his South London rival defeated a sausage in his comeback fight. Hay ended a 3.5-year sabbatical from the ring by knocking out Australia's Mark Demori with one round last weekend at the O2 Arena to emphatically announce his return to the heavyweight scene. But White, who most recently impressed for his toughness in an unsuccessful effort against Anthony Joshua last month, insists that Hay's win was merely a formality. He said he didn't see any new skills on the comeback that could carry the former WBA heavyweight back to the pinnacle of that division. And that's a wrap in sports news. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. The news at 10 continues shortly.
Nigerian citizens and members of the South African police were at a medical facility earlier today following the death of a Nigerian in police custody in Johannesburg, South Africa. Details are still hazy as to what exactly happened, but some versions claim that the 33-year-old Nigerian was a drug peddler who swallowed his ware when he was chased and captured by the police on West Street in Kempton Park area of the city. The chairman of the Nigerian Union in Gauteng, however, disputed this, saying that the victim was assaulted to death by the police. The police officials who wouldn't speak to the media on the scene assured the Nigerian Union that the matter has been referred to the Independent Police Investigation Directorate and would be looked into in the interest of justice.
The Nigerian government is particularly interested in this. I would like you to pursue this relentlessly with everything that your good offices can provide us. All the contacts you have, everything you can do within your power as an elected official to make sure that this thing, as an appointed official, to make sure that this thing is resolved, because our people are law-abiding citizens. Their own businesses in Kempton Park. Have you been to Long Street lately?
Yes.
They pay to SARS income from their salaries and from their businesses.
Thanks.
I, for one, pay taxes.
Thanks.
Please, can you protect us?
Thanks very much, brother. We will do so. I think right now what we need to do, because the IP has taken over, let's not dwell much on any other factor that is going to be impeding the investigation. Let's just be honest, and I honestly appreciate your cooperation. And I appreciate your discipline and your respect. The advocate at the back there has already commenced. I think let's give him a space to move as fast as he can.
Our Channels Television will give you updates on that story as it unfolds. About 75 million people in the United States have been warned to stay in their homes as a massive blizzard bringing more than 2 feet of snow and fierce winds is advancing up the U.S. East Coast. Reports say that the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., could see a record 30 inches of snow by the time the storm passes on Sunday.
A powerful storm barrels towards Washington, D.C. and much of the East Coast, threatening to bury the region under as much as 30 inches of snow after hitting Arkansas, Tennessee and Kentucky with a wintry mix.
This storm will be deadly. We need people off the streets. So if you expect to see your street to be plowed during the day on Saturday or going through Saturday evening, it's not going to happen. We're going to keep the roads passable. We're going to make sure our emergency crews can get to where they need to. And then come Sunday, late Saturday night, Sunday, depending on the weather, that's when we're going to start in earnest the digging out of the city.
Given the extraordinary conditions expected, Washington has been preparing all week for the type of blizzard that Mayor Muriel Bowser says the city has not seen in 90 years.
The winds are expected to be 30 miles an hour, up to 50 miles an hour through Saturday evening. And we believe that we are going to see wind pick up throughout the day. In fact, our forecasters call this event having thunder snow at parts of the storm. So I want to be very clear with everybody. We see this as a major storm. It has life and death implications, and all the residents of the District of Columbia should treat it that way.
The largest snowstorm recorded in Washington was the 1922 Knickerbocker storm, which buried the city under 28 inches of snow. On Friday, airlines cancelled more than 7,600 flights, and this will continue for the weekend.
Many airlines did pre-cancel flights in advance of the storm, and so what that means is that passengers know before they even arrive to the airport that their flight is canceled, so there's no reason for them to leave home or their hotel.
The public transportation system also stopped on Friday, and the suspension may continue for the whole weekend.
At least 4 people have been killed and several others injured after a gunman opened fire in Canada. Officials say a male suspect is now in custody and children have been moved to safety after the shootings at a community school and another location. Earlier, the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said that 5 people had been killed, but this was later corrected. Mr. Trudeau, who was speaking in Davos, Switzerland, also praised the first responders who acted quickly and bravely. And the main news again. The Nigerian police have begun the process of returning full civil authority to the recaptured territories of Adamawa, Borno and Yobe State with the hoisting of Nigerian police flags in all the zones. The leader of the team, Deputy Inspector General of Police Sotonye Wakama, says that the exercise signifies the beginning of the process to take over civil authority in the 3 states. And U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has applauded President Muhammadu Buhari's anti-corruption drive as he asked that the entire world must stand up against corruption. Mr. Kerry was speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. And at least 10 people have died in parts of the United States where heavy snowfall in a huge blizzard is sweeping across the eastern region. And that's how it's been on the news at 10 tonight. I want to thank you so much indeed for being a part of it. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Gimba Umar saying good night.